What is up? Risk takers! Welcome to the Kill Beat Strategy. I am Pete. I'm a top grandmaster playing Risk Global Domination. If you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to the channels and come along the ride with me. Today, the idea for this game is we were having a conversation on stream about Fixed World Dom, and I wanted to kind of expand my horizons for Fixed World Dom into a couple of different maps, and I was thinking about, well, what makes for a good Fixed World Dom map? What sort of things would you want to see? And one of the next things that came to my mind was you're going to want to see a bunch of viable positions. Ultimately, you want the game to be diplomatic, so you want there to be viable positions for a number of people. You want different small bonuses, and you want positions to form, relationships to form. I obviously added alliances because I'm not interested in the game just randomly stalemating or people just trying to pretend like they have telepathy. So what I did on my first turn was I took a +2, and then I backed up. I had to hit a magenta 3, and obviously you'd rather be in a 2 territory +3 over a 2 territory +2, but my long-term goal is to actually get both. I didn't want to be in Purple's way. White is behind Purple, so Purple's going to have to hit a 5 turn 1 if they want that bonus. Magenta also might just go for the +3. White having initiative, me having initiatives is what you want. Most risk settings do lean towards being in an initiative seat. And where's Black going? Black's just trying to get out of that. All right, let me show you guys the bonuses. I figure Magenta either takes this or goes down here. Maybe they add to the 4. Adding to the 4 wouldn't be a terrible move either. Bonuses in Boston, if you're new to the map, it's a really interesting map. We got two territory +2s of Alston, Brighton, and Charlestown. Adjacent to that is downtown, which is also 2 territory +3, and we have 3 territory +3 of East Boston. The Fens in Jamaica Plain and West Roxbury and Waterfront are each 4 territory +5s. Roxbury proper in the middle is +7. Dorchester worth 10 if you can hold it, and the Harbor Islands on the right-hand side are worth 4. I'm pretty sure we have a pathing connection. I've never seen this before, but these territories connect now. They never used to. So there's an additional change in the pathing of Boston. Purple decides not to hit a 5 turn 1, and instead they would like to take a turn 1 +5. Okay, so I think it's safe for me to take the +3 here. He does let the white 5 out, so maybe the white 5 decides to camp out in my bonus. No, it's just going to cause some havoc in the middle. Adds to the 6. Sure. I wonder if that 6 goes down and tries to link through on this line. No, but he does step the 4 out. Okay, we do hold a bonus. I'm not going to try and get too greedy with this play, but I am going to kind of step out as well, and I'm going to be on a majority position. I'm now sitting on +5 as well. Shouldn't be too scary considering Purple's already on +5, but we see a break. Blue going to break that. No, Blue is going for a longer claim on the +7 in the middle. That's a fine move if it holds, but being in the middle of the map is very risky, I would imagine, especially being in the middle of the map on a +7, as it were. Black now more likely take the left-hand side. No. They want this. Okay. I was expecting Blue to break Purple. Me being on +5 is nice. I can stack, I can chip, I can get cards. And what is effectively the age of this map is Dorchester. But we still do need to get a set fairly early so we can establish ourselves as one of the halves in this game. Nobody's offered an alliance yet. This game's been nice, though. Not overly stupid. Nobody's playing terrible, as far as I can tell. Okay, Purple does hold +5. Now they're going to probably start thinking about taking that bonus that they spawned with. 2 positions, I don't know if I love it. This is not a tournament, mind you. I think my next turn is going to be... You guys who are familiar with the show I want you to take a second and try and predict what my next move is going to be, because I think it's very obvious, unless white does something unexpected. Have you thought of it? Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to add all of my troops to the 6. I'm going to not add to the 4, but I'm going to use the 4 to attack through the 1, and then fortify to the 3. So we'll have whatever troops remain of this on that territory, and everything else is guarding on the 6 with a light guard on the other 3, but not too much. Me and white are kind of fundamentally going to be in each other's way. I sort of need to offer an alliance to white before it's too late. I think this would be a great time to do it, actually. I'm going to wait till his turn is over. Maybe white takes this. No, he doesn't yet. Yeah, I was just saying, I'm going to wait for his turn to be over, and I'm going to offer the alliance here. Now, I don't really need him to accept. I'm not asking him to do anything. I don't want him to do anything, but I want white to see that I'm not inherently antagonistic to him, per se. I'm going to put those troops down, and this is a great board position now, right? You see what I mean? I'm holding +5 with strong guard on the +2 of it, and then a threat of retaliation on the +3 of it. We do get blue take the +7 in the middle. Blue is fully 10 troops behind me now, and more importantly, blue's stuck in the middle. So anyone go bad to this guy, it might just be over for him. I do have a 10 cent on 3. I'm starting to consider it. Do we think it's worth it to kill blue? Probably. Just going to play her out of this game before they hold +7? No one else is going to do it. Not perfectly lined up for the kill is the problem. And if I do it, if I overextend, then I might lose my position to white. Maybe we don't whole hog it and we just bully him because we are one of the halves. Okay, magenta takes a bonus on the side. And magenta's soon to be in a single position as well. What does white do on their 4th turn? Because white did accept the alliance when I offered, which is a good read. Was not expecting to see this level of play, but then again, I don't really play Fixed World Dom on other maps, so I'm not surprised that there is an environment where there are a bunch of good players who play this stuff. I do think it makes sense to break blue, though. Maybe blue is a set on 3 in the unlikely event that it really ends up costing me, but I think it's smarter to just keep this guy off bonus rather than have 6 people who are alive in this game. Let's purple play it. It's 37 troops compared to my 28. Doesn't take a second. I'm just not trying to be too greedy. How does white play their turn? Well, they have a 10 set on 3 as well. Do they just take another bonus? Do they take another 2? Do they fuck me? Maybe they fuck me. No. Okay. Well, part of me wants to advance the game state. Part of me thinks doing so will end up costing me. So we're going to be a bit cautious here. But we'll move into the left-hand side. Blue does get to hold 7 troops. Now they're putting 7 troops on the board every turn. But I'm not really in the middle of the board. If blue wants to accept my alliance. Also steps into that bonus. I think being in the middle is risky, but I like how he's playing it. Right? Light guarding, light guarding, light guarding, but his one territory that attaches to all can attack out. Yeah, we accept. Okay, so I think, I hope black knows where I'm going, but black doesn't have a bonus yet, so black's going to feel antagonism from this 11. I don't think they can do anything about it. Maybe I could be nice to black. Might have to be if I want the position to exist. Or I could just kill him. Is that a thing that can happen? Similarly to the blue kill. Black is off bonus and on 4 cards. Can I just kill this man? If I do, I don't think I get to hold anything in that side of the board. Okay, great. Glad somebody did that. I'm glad it didn't have to be me. So blue's on 4 and 25. Black offers an alliance. I think I got to kill you, man. I think I got to kill you, black. Yeah. Maybe it's smarter to do nothing if Magenta's willing to advance the game state. And blue goes MIA here. No, I think I killed black. Blue was just checking his phone. White says, thanks, watch this. Does white kill black? No. White take a +3. So white and I are both going to be on +5, but he's camped out into a second +5. So I really do need to upgrade my position. And hopefully enough troops remain from the black kill. Oh, shit, he's going to break purple. Okay, so that watch this was a bit of trolling then. Purple can't be too happy about that. I'm just going to kill black. I'm sorry I have to attack your territory. So my price is going to be... Yeah, that was worth it. My price is going to be the +5 on the bottom left. White is laughing. White is a troll. Look at this. So the 10 in the bottom left corner is non-antagonistic. We do advance the game state by killing a player, and I don't think it costs us anything. We are the troop lead. Blue sets. Blue sets retaliate on magenta. I have a dude's trade. Yeah, blue's just going to build up the same sort of structure he had before. Magenta maybe break my bonus. He's willing to break blue. He'll probably be equivalently scared of me. Maybe purple does it because similar thing. Why let me have +10? It's the 3. Oh, they take Dorchester. This is dumb. Why would blue immediately let you have a +10 if you broke their bonus? What is magenta thinking? Magenta thinking big number equals good. This is the most simplistic lack of understanding of player psychology we've seen so far this game. Okay, purple set. Knock white out of the side. Seems like a good time to steal white's bonus. But for that exact thing I was just saying, if I steal white, oh, watch this. What, you going to sue him? Why are you suing purple? Well, this board position is great for me. Yeah, letting magenta hold that doesn't make any sense. Can I kill magenta? Probably. Can I fucking kill magenta? If the 10 was active, I could probably kill him. I have a dude's trade. I think I just go for the magenta kill. This gets me teamed on, right? If I do it. White says, watch this. White is a lover of the watch this emote. All right, we've made 2 kills. 10 for blue. Just throw thumbs up like they're going out of style. I fully expect a bunch of my shit to be broken. Blue might actually have the purple kill here. And will not set him. Okay, very interesting. Blue fails the purple kill. So purple won't have the resources to deal with me, which means white has to go whole hog on me, but I'll still be able to make a kill. I think I'm in a really good spot. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, white has to hit me as hard as he can, which risks him getting lowest. Oh, wow. Are we on a, what are we on, 5 turn? This is round 7. We're in a very good position here. He kills purple and sets is what he does. Kill purple set, kill blue set, maybe, and then go into the 1v1 with initiative. Yeah, that's what happens. Okay. I believe we are about to enter a 1v1, folks. White actually does not appear very fast. Take out blue first. Okay. Because in 11 I like. Sets in progressive, or sets in fixed are not all that juicy as in progressive. It's going to take a lot to have white catch up to my troop count, but it's more the initiative. The other thing too is white is going to want to break this +5, but if he does, it opens a 12. So he does get the second trade. Going to be a good battle at the end. And I got to tell you, folks, I've played a whole heck of a lot of Boston 1v1s. So I feel like I'm up for the challenge. But I really like how that played. Yeah, break me makes sense. Hit the... Okay. So 30 seconds on the clock. He's going to get a 10 trade max, maybe 12 troops. What are we putting on the board? 10. Okay. +2 in the middle. I'm going to have my 7 to retaliate. And I do have a 10 set as well. Okay. So my job is going to be to break every white bonus that exists. And I am apparently a lot faster than him. So I'm not terribly worried about pulling this one off. Maybe he leaves the 12 immobilized. He hits it. He gets great dice. He hits and he gets great dice. That's fine. Cool. And he guards the +2. Well played, man. Well played. Well played, white. Let's fucking go. That was a legit game of Risk, friends. That was a legit game of Risk. I hope you liked it. He says, I'm sorry. Oh, no, our alliance is over. Oh, no. Oh, no. Not our alliance. No. White is an emo troll. All right. I'll take it out of Morris Jammer. Let's fucking go, bro. All right, Q&A question, folks. If you have questions for me and you'd like me to read them out on the show, throw them up in the Kill Peace Strategy Discord Q&A thread, and they will be answered in the order in which they were asked. His question is from Kisakot. Hey, Pete, I think we can all agree that human life has some great, in brackets, inherent value. Human life has inherent value. I think anyone who doesn't agree that human life has inherent value is insane. I think you have to believe that. But what about the lives of other animals? Okay, I see where you're going here. For example, is ending the lives of, say, 70 billion chickens a year justified when nutritionally alternatives, like tofu, are readily available and often cheaper to produce. Even if their level of consciousness is much lower than humans, surely there comes a point where billions of their deaths outweigh human satisfaction. And the perhaps darker extension of the above is, at what point, if any, is a human life worth sacrificing in favor of animal lives? Would it depend on the person or animal? For example, would you choose to kill a random human being in order to magically end all forms of cancer in cats? What about in shrimp? Or what if, instead of a random person, it was a convicted serial killer? Examples are just food for thought, and I would love to hear your opinions on this. Great question. Okay, so this is a comparative ethics question, ultimately. What you do in your second sentence is a bit of a, from my personal opinion, a bit of a rhetorical trick that people often do when they discuss ethics. The second sentence is, what about the lives of other animals? For example, is ending the lives of, say, 70 billion chickens a year justified when nutritionally alternatives are readily available? I do not seek to justify my ethical positions. I am not an ethical objectivist, so I'm not appealing to some sort of autistic rule or law. Like, Immanuel Kant was probably an autistic man, and one of the things that the left hemisphere really, really likes and leans further and further into is, math, numbers, quantity, trying to make sure that, is this thing true? The way Kant framed ethics is the categorical imperative. Act according to that maxim that you can will it to be a universal law. Kant says if you can universalize something, if something is true and good in all cases, then it is good, right? And I just don't think ethics work like that. I think the more, say, neurotypical way of approaching ethics is ethics are contextual, right? So the time and place matter, who the observer matters, you matter. And I think one of the ways you matter as a person, as an observer, is that you get to contextualize your ethics from your own viewpoint, and I get to contextualize mine. So I don't waste time and energy trying to justify the obvious suffering that I'm causing to animals when I eat them. I'll put it to you that way, right? I'm aware that what I am doing is unethical, at least from the perspective of the chicken. The chicken sees what I am doing, would certainly see what I am doing as unethical. I work within a framework of humanism. So things that are good for me because I am a human. And things that are pro-socially good for you are still good for me because I want to build a world where I can thrive and you can thrive and we can thrive together. Unfortunately for the chickens, now, mind you, I'm not advocating for horrific things. I'm not advocating for needless suffering. And I'm aware that we cause suffering. And I would even go so far as to say that suffering is inherent to life, as the Buddhist tradition would like to say. The second part of your question is there any human life worth sacrificing in favor of animal lives? No, I would say that's also kind of insane. I think people who don't do their ethics this way, people who are trying to apply some sort of utilitarian calculus to life and say, how would you go about doing it if not as a human observer? Would you say that X quantity of pounds of biomass, sentient or unsentient, would somehow hold ethical weight versus Y? That seems absurd. It seems autistic, frankly. It seems like the way an autistic person would do ethics. And I'm not trying to denigrate that. I'm trying to say that there is the left hemisphere perspective on ethics, but then there's the greater holistic way of approaching ethics that applies the valuable lessons learned from quantifying things, right? Someone asked me on stream the other day. I'll leave this question with that because it's an interesting one. I'm also not sitting here as a infallible, perfect being who is a good man, right? I contain good and evil in my heart, and so do you, right? So I'm not having this conversation about ethics from a perspective of righteousness. I'm having it from a perspective of pragmatism, right? I am a flawed man. I eat meat and I enjoy it. And I'm aware that there is suffering inherent to that. But one thing I never waste any time on is trying to justify that. I think that's absurd. And the story from the stream is this, and I will leave you with this one. Someone on my stream said to me, Pete, would you sacrifice Reggie to save the life of a person? I said, yeah, in a heartbeat. And that has nothing to do with the fact that I don't love him so much. I'm actually, we are now on the cusp of 3 months I haven't seen him. I haven't seen my cats in 3 months. And it is affecting me tremendously. Maybe that's why I'm bringing him up. But at least the way I do my ethics as a man is men and women have to be the things that carry moral weight in my world. Nothing else really can. Other life matters. Suffering matters. I'm not trying to make the world worse. I'm not a psychopath, right? I'm not torturing ants with a magnifying glass or relishing in glee watching an animal die, right? That's grotesque to me as well. But what I will say is, my beloved Reginald, right? My best friend, if it meant the difference between his life and another person, any person alive today, I think I would have to choose the person. And I think to not do so is wrong. Great questions. Great. I'm sure there's going to be a great discussion that spawns from it. Thank you, Kissicott, for asking. Defeating. Okay. Well, you guys played quite well. I will say, you guys played quite well for beginners. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found some of it fun and entertaining, maybe even a little bit educational and informative. If you are interested in getting better at the game of Risk, I invite you to subscribe to the channels and come along the ride with me. We have a daily show on YouTube. You can like it. You can hype it. Give me a sub, folks. I love you. I appreciate you. You want to watch this next Pete video? Check it out, friends. There's more where that came from. And for all of you on the path to world domination, good games and good luck.